Hi and welcome to the site. I'm Jeff Moran, owner of the Sound Therapy site and creator of the Sound Therapy Listening Program. And what I'd like to say first and foremost is this. You may have arrived at the site and you may have gone through various different sites and thought, well, what is this sound therapy? There's lots of jargon out there. What I'd like to say is sound therapy is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. And once you've got the concept and the way in which sound therapy works, it'll make an awful lot of common sense. Now, my background stems and runs back over 25 years. And within that 25 years, it's a combination of the Eastern tradition, whether that be mantra, whether it be brass bowls and different sounds and tinsures, to Western science, which is more frequency generators, measuring frequency, measuring brainwave states. So it's a combination of the two. My main interest is how the brain, when it takes in frequency, can then affect the body. So that's my main interest. And the overall goal of the Sound Therapy site is to improve the lives of people. So we have lots of different testimonies from children, from adults, on the improvements that they've made through the use of sound therapy. Now, to lay a foundation, I guess we all know that sound affects us and it affects the way in which we feel. On a positive note, that might be you hear the laughter of a young child. You might hear a bird song in the morning. You may relax on the beach and listen to the waves moving in and out. So that's a really positive effect that sound can have. However, there may be some negative aspects to sound as well. And all of a sudden you'll walk past a building site and you hear the drill going and you'll cover your ears. It may be a siren that's going off. You may be in a room with air conditioning, and the air conditioning, there's a constant hum, and then the air conditioning's turned off and your whole body feels like it's been holding that tension, and then you just let it go. So sound, we know, has an effect upon the way in which we feel. Now, research has shown that when, as human beings, we are missing certain light frequencies, we call that in the UK seasonal affective disorder, and people obviously experience that within the winter time. Now, the same thing happens with light as with sound because it's all frequency. So when we are missing certain tones and frequencies within our energetic system, which is made up of frequency, then we don't feel as balanced and as harmonic as what we should do. So sound and light frequencies act like vitamins and minerals in the body. So the body needs a full spectrum to stay fit and healthy. Now, some of the questions, well, what is sound therapy and what's it based upon? Well, it's based upon the knowledge that everything is created through patterns of frequency. That includes our physical bodies, our mental thoughts, and our emotional feelings. Now, they're all in a state of vibration. The body's in a state of movement, although it appears to be solid. So there is nothing solid about the body when we take it right down to quantum physics. Now, with the knowledge that everything is in a state of movement, then that opens up the potential for change and to heal. Because there's nothing that's static. It's like IQ. A lot of people think IQ, intelligence levels are fixed, and they're fixed. They move through teenage years. We move new neural connections. We can improve IQ dependent upon our environment. So we have a potential to heal and change. So, how can you benefit from sound therapy? Well, sound therapy is used in many conditions. So let me just give you a few, whether it be anxiety, depression, stress. We can bring the brain waves down. We can make people a lot more calm. We can put a boost into the system to give people more energy. the tinnitus, we neutralize the frequencies in the ear, so we neutralize those sounds that people hear within the brain. Short-term memory loss by crossing over the two hemispheres of the brain and pumping new neural connections in there. So insomnia and sleep orders by bringing the brainwave state down from beta, which may be high stress when you go to sleep, we bring it down to alpha, to theta, to delta. Everybody needs at least 4 hours deep delta to stay fit and healthy. The world's full of sleep deprivation, so we can use sound as a really good tool to help sleeping disorders. Learning and behavioral changes, which is an area that I work in a lot. So you look at ADD, ADHD, we need to bring those brain waves down. We need to focus and calm the kids and adults. You know, it affects loads of people. We've got dyslexia and dyspraxia, which is about exercising the two hemispheres of the brain, bringing about brainwave hemisphere coordination. So we improve that coordination within those people who use the products to do that. Auditory process and speeding the brain up or slowing the brain down. And for focus and concentration, within a world of distractions that we live in, we can use sound to really focus the brain, to keep the brain on track so we can improve concentration. But in essence, what we're trying to do with sound is to balance and bring the harmony back into your energetic system, your sound system, which is all about frequency, which is the body. So, having said that, how's sound therapy delivered? And there's many ways in which the body can absorb sound. First and foremost, we've got sound therapy programs. We've got one on the site. We use MP3s by and large, you know, to exercise the hemispheres of the brain, bring the brain waves down. There's also light and sound machines. So you may see the LED machines, the binaural beats that are going in the background, helps calm people down, speeds up, slows down. We have vast array of musical instruments, whether that be gongs and didgeridoos and crystal bowls and violins and orchestra, and just pure music therapy is fantastic. The human voice, a lot of people will use the human voice to scan another person's body, then deliver the frequency through tonation. We've got an area of vocal analysis, fantastic, fascinating area that's hardly been touched. Vibrational beds and chairs with transducers to input frequency into the body just by lying there or sitting on the chair and relaxing. We have ultrasonic equipment. We have tuning forks for bone conduction. We get frequency generators, subwoofers to deliver brainwave frequencies to actually stimulate the brain, bring the brainwave again, cross the brain over, bring it up, you know, speed it up, slow it down. So a whole host of different ways in which sound therapy is delivered. Now, what's our preferred method? Well, we do 3 things within the sound therapy listening program. And the core elements is we need to relax the brain, bring the brain waves down to an alpha state, ideally to a theta state even. In those states, the brain picks up learning, accelerated learning. We boost the immune system. We're also looking at crossing the brain hemispheres over. So we've got that cross-hemisphere synchronization, which is great for coordination issues, whether that be dyslexia, dyspraxia. We look at whole brain learning and improvements in learning through utilizing left and right side of the brain. And we look to speed the brain up or slow the brain down, dependent on where you are. You know, you might be processing way too quick and there's a lot of confusion there. So we need to slow the brain down, or we need to speed the brain up. You may say that as slower learners and those who are over processing. So we use entrainment of the brain to bring the brain down and to entrain the brain to the level where the brain can start to learn an awful lot better. So, is sound therapy used in modern medicine? Quite often, you know, it may be seen as quackery. Well, ultrasonics and scanning or soft tissue healing, they're all used in hospitals. Sonography to identify blood flow, brain abnormalities. Tuning forks, as we said before, bone conduction and hearing. And they push in the laser to disperse kidney stones through ultrasonics. So it's not some quirky therapeutic tool. I'd suggest if you want some more proof and evidence of that, you check out the research page. There's over 30 different research papers all on brainwaves, alpha, beta, theta, and the effects of brainwaves upon our emotional states. So no, it's not quackery, it's really solid, based on solid science. Now, That's a very quick and a brief overview. However, you might be left with a lot of questions. So by all means, whatever question you may have, then get in touch. Either email jeff@soundtherapy.co.uk, either myself or one of the team will get back to you. Or if you're watching this and you're not on the Sound Therapy site, then by all means take a visit over to the site. Check out some of the programs we've got, some of the therapy that we've got for tinnitus, for short-term memory, for sleeping disorders, for dyslexia, dyspraxia, learning difficulties. So there's a whole host of different sound therapy products there. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching. I hope you get some benefit by going around the site, and we're always interested in your feedback. So thanks again. If it's nighttime there, have a great night. If it's daytime, have a great day. I'm Jeff Moran from the soundtherapy.co.uk site.